Hey guys, Joshua with Josh and Hunter's Adventures, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're talking about everything that you need to start tightlining for bass. I've had a lot of questions, people asking me about what technique that it is that I've been using in the wintertime to catch bass. So I'm going to do a full breakdown, show you everything from line size to tackle to my rod and reel, everything that I use, and I'm going to show you some places that I like to fish in. But if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. That way you know we put out videos. All right, so what is a tightline? Basically, a tightline is a very small jig head with just a minnow style bait on it. Now, so what I use is a 1/8 ounce head. All right, I use a 1/8 ounce Do It Mold freestyle head. I pour these myself. I put some little eyes on it, you can see there, makes it just look good. I don't know that it really makes a difference, but it does for me. The hook itself has a keeper on it, so it allows to keep the bait up there. Works really good, because if you didn't have anything like that, the bait would just continuously start to slide off. But like I said, I use a 1/8 ounce, that's all I use, and I fish this thing to 35 foot deep. Now it takes a little time to get down there, but it works really well, and we'll show some video of me actually fishing it. Now, for the bait itself, this is a 3-inch gulp minnow. I've got them right here. You can see right here, I buy the tub. You can buy them in a pack. You actually can buy these at Walmart, but I don't know that they have these at your Walmart. If they do, get this, but it's leaking there. But this is just the 3-inch smelt is the color that they call it. Works really good. I don't know how many comes in a pack, maybe 20 in this one. But like I said, you just rig it on there and rig it really straight right through the top right there. And I tie a little loop knot. And you can see right there, it's got a loop knot. So what that does is, I've talked about it before in my videos, I do this with swim baits too, is it allows that bait, when it's pendulum down, so when I cast it up, you can see this, like for instance, this bank behind me, when I cast it up towards the bank, and my boat's sitting out here in say 25-30 foot of water, I want that bait to pendulum down that bank, okay, all the way down. So think of it just as like a 45-degree angle. You want that bait just to run down just right on the bottom, and that just allows that bait just to move really good, that loop knot it does. So if you don't know how to tie this knot, I have a video on how to tie this, so make sure you check that out. I've got a lot of other knot tying videos that you guys might be able to learn something off of. But let's talk about line size. Line size is very important this time of year. I like to use 4-pound test. You've seen in my videos, I know today I was talking, I landed a fish here with the net. It wasn't a giant by any means, but I said, you know, I didn't want to swing it in here because I was using 4-pound test. I use this light line, helps me work this bait a lot better, and the water's just so clear in my area in the winter time. So I use 4-pound test. Like I said, tie the loop knot. Now let's talk about rod and reel, because that's very important, I feel like, for your tight lining. The reel, I use a 2000 size Daiwa Revros. I got a review on this. Great reel, $50 for a Daiwa Revros. You cannot beat it. It's a great little reel. Like I said, I use a 2000 size just because it's the 4-pound test. You know, you can still put a whole lot on there. You get a lot. You don't run out. I mean, it's not like you're making like long casts and you're going to run out of line. So the 2000 works really good. It's super light. The rod that I'm using is the Finesse Feather series. This is a 7'1" medium. It's got a really good tip on it. I've got a review on this one also. I'm a big fan of Finesse and Daiwa products. So this one is a really good one. It's super light, fits good in my hands, and it's got a great tip, and it allows me just to work that bait, because when I'm working the bait down this bank, I'm constantly shaking the tip of my rod, and that bait is just moving through the column. You don't really even want to reel the reel handle very much. It's very little. You just want to work it down the bank. But you're going to notice in the videos, and a lot of my videos that are coming out here in the next couple weeks, is I found out that you can take this and almost fish it like a Damiki, and it's almost like a finesse-ier style version of the Damiki, because I'm getting on these rock banks and these bluffs, and I'm pitching it up there, and it's falling very slow, and right when it gets to the bluff where it starts leveling out, those fish are sitting on that transition right there, and I'm able to just hold that bait in there because it's so light. If you had like a super heavy one, like Hunter sometimes will throw like a 3/8 ounce head on one, and on like his Damiki, well, it really swings really fast. So with this 1/8 ounce, it stays over their head a lot longer, is what I found out. Just being able to watch it on live scope. So what I want to do is I'm going to get the camera and I want to show you some of like a bank that I would find to fish this. Like I said, any type of rock bank, bluff walls, 45-degree angle banks, really, chunk rock, anything like that. But I'm going to get the camera, I'm going to show you guys, and then we'll talk just a little bit about how to fish it. And I'll show you some examples, and then we'll do some actual, a couple of fish catches for you guys too. Okay, so we're on a bank here. As you can see, it's a rock bank. You can see how the slope is just by the lay of the land there. It's fairly steep. My boat right now, we are setting in 19.9, so 20 foot of water, and you can see how close the bank is to the boat. So it's fairly close. I like to set my boat in about 25 foot of water. That's where I like to do. And I'll make a cast, you can see right here. So I'm going to angle it. Say, see that tree right there? You want to throw at an angle. You don't necessarily want to throw straight at the bank with this technique. You want to be more at an angle. You can see we've got like a little small point right there. That's a really good area. I actually caught some there this morning. But you can stay at an angle and throw 45 degree and just bring it down that bluff. Well, it's a rock bank, but it is slightly a bluff. You can see it. It's pretty steep, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a bluff. But you can see this whole bank down through there is pretty much the same way. Same style, just chunk rock, brush, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'll set the camera back up and we will make a few casts and I'll show you how I fish it. All right, so I've got my boat sitting right now. We're in 27 foot of water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cast here at an angle. I'm going to let it sink just a little bit. I'm going to keep my rod up like this right here about 10 o'clock. And you're just going to shake the rod tip, as you can see, and I'm just barely turning the handle. Sometimes I'll try to find it here on the graph. But what I found that I do, different than a lot of people, is when I get it back closer to the boat, a lot of times if you have live scope, you'll notice they'll follow it. So what I do is I just stop and just start shaking it right over top of their head. And a lot of times that's all it takes, because you're going to get a lot of follows on this. But it's a good way to cover water. It's a slow, in wintertime it's slow. Right now the water temperature is 45 degrees. But when I get it back to the boat, I fish it just like a Damiki. If you're not familiar with the Damiki, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we got more videos coming out on Damikis. We've done them in the past. We've got some more coming out. I fish this just like a Damiki when it gets back here. I got him. Smalley. I think he had another one with him. That's a nice one. Yeah, boy. Beautiful smallmouth. Let's let him go. Good healthy fish. See you, buddy. All right, guys, there it is, the tight line. Super good bait for wintertime bass fishing. That water gets down in the 40s. Be sure you pick up the tight line, get your setup just like this right here with a 7-foot medium, a 2,000 reel, some 4-pound test. You're gonna have yourself a really good time. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any questions, go down in the comment section and leave me a question. Be glad to answer it the best that I can. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Until next time, this is Josh with Josh and Hunter's Adventures. We'll see you next time.